So many of us have goals, dreams, and aspirations. But what if I told you whatever your dream or goal or aspiration was, that 1 out of every 15 people trying to reach that goal died? Would you still chase that same goal? It makes you wonder. Unfortunately, that's the grim reality for people who are trying to summit Mount Everest. Brief history about Mount Everest. The original name of Mount Everest was Peak 19. It was changed to Mount Everest in 1865 in honor of the Surveyor General of India, George Everest. Until 1856, it was actually unknown that Mount Everest was the highest mountain above sea level on Earth, or the highest mountain period on Earth, sitting at approximately 29,029 feet, which for some commercial flights is actually the cruising altitude of a Boeing 747. But technically speaking, as I said, Mount Everest is not the highest mountain in the world. Actually, Hawaii's Mauna Kea is the tallest mountain in the world. However, as stated, Mount Everest is the tallest mountain in the world above sea level. Mount Everest has also recorded over 200 deaths since 1953. Although there have been many deaths in the attempt to summit Everest, there have been 7,001 successful summits of Everest. Some of those notable summits were, of course, the first ascent, the first successful confirmed ascent at that, and that was in 1953 by a man named Edmund Hillary. He was from New Zealand, as well as Sherpa Tenzing Norgay from Nepal. Norgay had originally tried to summit 6 times previous to this attempt. A few other notable summit attempts. The first American to summit was James Whittaker in 1963. The first female ascent was in 1975 by Junko Taibei from Japan. There were actually a pair of 13-year-olds, Jordan Romero from the US in 2010 and Malavath Purna from India in 2014. Now, in order to summit Everest, like Edmund Hillary, Sherpa Tenzing Norgay, and Junko Taibei, and everyone else who has summited Everest since people have started trying to conquer this mountain, there's a few things that you're going to need. The first and foremost is money. Unfortunately, trying to climb Mount Everest is not cheap. It is not free. You can't just go do it just because. You have to get a special permit for that. The average summit expedition cost is $30,000 US. That's quite a bit of money just to go try to kill yourself. The average, you also have to buy a permit. Not only do you have to pay for your expedition, you also have to get a permit from the Nepal government, which is around $10,000 to $25,000. Not to mention, you will also need 2 months for the entire expedition. That will include getting there, getting back, as well as letting your body acclimate to the weather. Not to mention, you're going to need your cold weather climbing gear, anything standard that you might need to climb any other mountain that's in cold weather. But you're also going to need oxygen, because at 26,000 feet, it's called the death zone. And it's called the death zone for a reason, because there is very, very little oxygen up there. Although there have been people who have summited Everest without oxygen, it's a very rare instance that people do that, and very dangerous. The average cost of the amount of oxygen, bottled oxygen, you're going to need that your Sherpas will actually transport for you is going to be roughly $3,000. So you're looking at close to $50,000, give or take $10,000 either way, just to try to climb the world's tallest mountain. And having said all that, people still go do it. I, for one, I'm interested in doing it one day. I hope to do it. I would love to stand at 29,029 feet and admire the beauty of the world, be able to see the curvature of the earth, and do something that only 7,000 other people have done. I want to leave you with this one quote from Sherpa Tenzing Norgay. He said, "I've conquered my mountain, but I must still live my life." Thank you for listening to this presentation.